Not sure if you guys can see me, but here I am at Disneyland to film the next episode of the People's Questions. I'll try to do them one at a time at different rides, so let's jump right into the first question. Okay, I couldn't quite do some filming in Star Tour. I was actually able to ride it about twice in like less than 20 minutes. But the first question comes from Santiago Scarpino, and you want to know, what is one of the hardest video game bosses I've ever had? Believe it or not, as much as I love Metal Gear Solid 3, I've never actually beaten the end fairly. I've always cheated, and I kind of go into my profile, I change the date, I move it to like a year ahead, and then when you come back to the game, he's already dead. So you can move over like past him. So I would say the end for Metal Gear Solid 3 is probably one of the hardest boss fights I've ever had. So on to the next question. Alright, so now as I'm standing next to the Pinocchio right over here, the next question comes from Dylan McLaughlin. Hope I said that right. And you want to know, what is my favorite disaster movie? There are a number that I can come off the top of my head, but my all-time favorite has to be Twister. I think the effects are still good to this day. I electrically love the premise of a bunch of tornado chasers trying to figure out how to take one down. And I think Bill Paxton was an absolute badass in that movie, especially the end. So Twister is my favorite disaster movie. So going on to the next question. Well, sorry viewers, but it looks like the Matador behind me, above and behind me, is actually out of order right now. But the next question comes from Glenn Gashard. I've said that right because I'm really bad with names. And you want to know, how do you platinum Ratchet and Clank, the new Ratchet and Clank, because you're having difficulty with the hoverboard? I would say the trick to it that I found is you need to cut corners, and every time you jump, you need to do a trick. Every time you do a trick, you'll gain a boost. And make sure you save at least 2 boosts for when you're about to make the final 2 turns, because that always got me for like hours. So again, every time you jump, do a trick. When you get to the last 2 turns, save 2 of the boosts, use them, and that should get you first place and should get you the right time in order to get the final trophy to get the platinum. If you do that, it should help you. That's the best advice that has helped me, so I hope that does the same for you. So on to the next question. Okay, well, I'm currently at Mickey Mouse's Toon World right now, and the next question comes from this viewer. Sorry, I forgot your name at the moment. But you want to know, what is my favorite video game world I'd like to visit and be put in, and what character? Kingdom Hearts, because I recently just saw Donald and Goofy around here a moment ago. I might get a picture with them. And I've loved Kingdom Hearts. I mean, Disney, Final Fantasy, you get to hang out with all your favorite Disney characters and beat them heartless. I can't think of anything better, so it would be Kingdom Hearts, and I would love to be Sora. So, that done, on to the next question. Alright, well, I'm still here in Mickey Mouse's Toon World, or Toonland World. And the next question comes from Kay Carrot, and you want to know, if I could write a Batman or Bane comic book, what would the story be about? I would want to pick a Batman story which revolves around an older Bruce Wayne kind of nearing retirement and in his search for a replacement. I would absolutely like to know who Bruce would want to choose if he couldn't be Batman anymore. So I would want to do a comic book on that. So with that out of the way, I will see you guys on the next question and the next location. Sorry, I just got a little bit distracted by this hidden door here. So on to the next question. Alright, on to the next question from Whoosh Monster. I hope you said that right. I'm currently standing in between Donald Duck's Steamboat and Goofy's house right behind me. And you wanted to know, what is my least favorite PlayStation mascot? In terms of mascots, I gotta be honest, I've never actually been a fan of Jak and Daxter. I understand that they're a solid team, but I've just never quite gotten into the games. I can't really get into their characters because I think for the most part of the first game, I don't think Jak really has much of a personality until later games. And I've always just been more of a Ratchet and Clank kind of person. So if you're a fan of Jak and Daxter, you know, that's cool with me, but I've always been a Ratchet and Clank kind of person, and I just can't get into Jak and Daxter. So those 2 characters are my least favorite PlayStation mascots. And now on to the last question. Okay, now that I've kind of found a quiet place to film, the last question comes from Phil Chuck Marks. And you wanted to know, what is the, I guess, like, worst Disney conspiracy I've ever heard? I gotta be honest, I wasn't aware there were any major conspiracies about Disney. I mean, I've heard some urban legends about certain things that they may have at some of their parks, like, I I think like in one ride they actually have like an exclusive like basketball court or something like that, or you know, there's some corpses like you know, they're kind of cemented but like buried around the park. But outside of that, I really can't think of any major conspiracies. So yeah, I can't really help you out with that. And with that, those are the questions that you guys sent in for this particular week that I'm currently at Disneyland. And if you have any more questions you'd like me to answer in next week's episode, be sure to type them in the comments down below. But make sure you get them into me before next week or next Wednesday before I start filming the next episode. And like always, I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys get a chance to visit Disneyland sometime or someday. And like always, I will see you guys later, and thanks for watching.